Welcome to Getting to Know You. I'm your host, Lanaya, and today's guest is Mrs. Norris.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Norris, and I've been at UHS for a long time. This is my 25th year with UHS and my 48th year with Waco ISD.
Okay, well, I got some questions for you.
Certainly.
Okay, so where are you from?
I am from a little town 20 miles north of here called Abbott, Texas. I don't live there now, but I live in West now, but I live in Abbott, Texas, the home of Willie Nelson, if you know who Willie Nelson is.
No.
Okay. He was a megastar back in the 70s and 80s.
How and why did you get into education?
How and why did I get into education? The crazy thing is, was that once I got through with school, I had a craving for the smell of Crayolas. I don't know why. And I was interviewed by several people about joining I'm going to Baylor to get my education. And I wanted to make sure that students were well educated, because one of these days y'all are going to have to take care of me and the rest home. And I want to make sure that you know how to do that. And oddly enough, even though I love the smell of Crayolas, we don't use Crayolas in my classroom.
What are the biggest attractions for working in university?
You kids.
I like that answer.
You kids. Y'all are wonderful. Occasionally we get a bad apple, but I mean, for the most part, y'all are so unique, and I love learning from y'all, because y'all are always telling me stuff. You know, I learn so much about our world through y'all's eyes. And people tell me that I look young, and it's because I'm with y'all.
What is the best advice you received from a teacher?
The best advice I received from a teacher really wasn't from a teacher, it was from a principal, and he's now principal at Waco High. Mr. Alexander one time told me that I can't save everybody, because I was trying to. And that we had a student that I was really trying to save. I told him, I didn't mean for you to send him out. And he goes, Miss Norris, you just can't save everybody. So I try to save as many as I can, but I don't save everybody.
What advice would you give to incoming freshmen and graduating seniors?
Incoming freshmen, respect what's going on. We are here to educate you, to get you better equipped for whenever you leave high school. And also, a lot of the rules we have in place are for safety. I know y'all don't like them, but they're there for safety. And if you're in my class, we've talked about that ad nauseum, actually. And for graduating seniors, one thing I want you to remember is that no matter what you choose to do, remember that might not be your end goal. Maybe your lifelong career hasn't been invented yet. So keep your eyes and ears open, do what you love, and try to actually add to our world. Don't take away from it. John F. Kennedy used to say, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country. And I think that might be where we need to go back to.
Could you describe the community here at university?
You know, for the most part, it's very loving, we take care of each other a lot. I know that there's other stuff going on. And I do enjoy more of the activities that we're having, that we're bringing in. Like today, we're going to have the Hispanic Heritage thing after school. I'm glad to see that. I wish more people could come to those things. And maybe as we keep adding to that, we can have more parental involvement and community involvement, just people coming and seeing how good we are.
What is your greatest moment in education?
My greatest moment, oh my gosh, you had to ask me that. I got too many. I'll tell you my proudest moments. Some of them are athletic, okay? My proudest moment is when I had a former student play for the Indianapolis Colts. I happened to watch the game. He made an interception and ran the ball for a touchdown. Another one was another football player, and he was on the front cover of USA Today News whenever the San Francisco Chargers lost in the Super Bowl, and he was a San Francisco Charger. But it had him kneeling with all the stuff coming down, and that was a proud moment. One of my proudest moments was last year when Kenrich Williams played in the national basketball finals. He always told me he was going to be in the MLB, but he was the last one to touch the ball when the final buzzer rang. That just made my heart sore. I just love that moment for him. But those of y'all that know me know that I live in West now, and 12 years ago, 13 years ago, my town blew up. And I've told this story before. We had half of my city was gone. It was total destruction. We lost 13 community members, and I knew over half of them. But going through all the devastation and loss that we were going through, I remember walking into the community center on that Sunday. The explosion happened on a Wednesday. I walked into the community center on a Sunday, and there, when you walked in, was a poster, and it had a West Trojan, because West is Trojans also. It had a West Trojan laying on the ground with his hand up, and it had a University Trojan reaching down to help him up. And the sign said, "Trojans helping Trojans," and it was signed by a lot of people from University High School. And I don't mind telling you, I stood in front of, I'm gonna get teary-eyed. I stood in front of that poster and I cried because I was so touched about the community of everything. And then that was the year that our soccer team won state, and they dedicated their game to the West Trojans. And it just really, it just my proudest moment, because I was two Trojans at once.
What are you gonna dress up for Halloween as?
So I'm probably just going to dress up as a teacher. I do have a Halloween shirt that I might put on. I don't know.
The classic teacher.
Yeah, classic teacher.
No spooky teacher?
No, I don't like spooks. I'm not into the zombies and everything like that. I don't mind them, but I like the cutesy little kids dressing up like peacocks and bam bams and stuff like that. But I'm not into the horror stuff. I never have. I don't like horror movies. They give me nightmares. What are you dressing up as?
My dad.
Oh, interesting.
It's very interesting.
I like that.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, my favorite movie of all time is one I watched as a little girl, and you've probably never heard of it before. It is a Walt Disney movie called Pollyanna. And it's about a little girl who's an orphan and adopted by her rich aunt, and how she brings gladness to her town and to the people that know her. Because I believe in joy. I think we should all you should bring joy to somebody else as much as you can. You just smiled, and that just warmed my heart, okay? And that's what Pollyanna, I guess my journey started out with Pollyanna all those years ago, watching it at my grandmother's house. So I still have the movie myself. So I watch it every once in a while when I need inspiration. What's your favorite sport?
Softball.
Oh, yeah. I love watching softball. I love the zing of that bat. When that bat hits that ball, zing, that's one of my favorite sounds. My cousins would play pickup softball, and I was a pitcher because I couldn't do anything else. And I remember my 16-year-old cousin getting up and hitting the ball, and it hit me right in the nose. Next thing I know, I'm looking straight up at the sky. So, yeah, I play outfield now.
Outfield is amazing. It's just out in the
Yeah.
field.
So
That's all the time we have for today's episode of Getting to Know You. Thank you again for coming, Miss Norris, and we'll see you guys next episode.
thank you very much. I really enjoyed this.
Bye.